Good morning, everyone. As Majil said, my name is Jessica Guthrie, and if I haven't had a chance to meet you, I'm so excited to meet you via Zoom this morning. I am the Chief Program Officer for Teach for America Dallas-Fort Worth, and my task has been to introduce our Honorary Duck Award and our guest speaker today. I will say that today is such a great day because I think back to 11 years ago when I was in your very shoes, launching my first year as a teacher as part of the DFW Corps. The only difference is that we were up at 8 a.m. sitting in wooden chairs at Woodrow Wilson High School, eating lukewarm tacos and bland black coffee. You all are at home in your living rooms and your dining rooms watching us via Zoom. But I just remember the community, the connections, and the relationships that actually launched starting today at ACKO that actually filled me and took me through my 2 years and beyond. And so I hope that you all can look back 11 years from now and think about the connections and the relationships and the community that you began to build today at y'all's All Corps Kickoff. And so with that, 6 years ago, Teach for America Dallas-Fort Worth started recognizing community leaders that have played an integral role in the support and development of our Corps members and broader network through their partnership, their advocacy, and commitment to educational equity. We have called these leaders honorary alumni, or in true DFW fashion, honorary ducks, because these leaders that we honor, they exhibit the leadership qualities that we desire to help develop within each and every one of you over the course of your 2-year experience. Prior honorees for this award include President of Paul Quinn College, the only HBCU in Dallas, Michael Sorrell, Fort Worth ISD Board President, Cinto Ramos, founder of Uplift Education and the Teaching Trust, Rosemary Perlmeter, just to name a few. And we started this award as a way to recognize community members and to say thank you for their commitment to us at Teach for America and their commitment to the future and the possibilities of students and families across the DFW Metroplex. So that's the context. And today, I am very excited to introduce to you our 2021 DFW Honorary Alumna, Jamie Jenkins. Jay is from Dallas, born and raised, a graduate of Clark Atlanta University, and is no stranger to Teach for America because she, in fact, is a 2007 Metro Atlanta Corps member. Jay is a true visionary, she is innovative, and she's a truth teller. And as you can see from her bio that you all have access to and should spend time reading, she has accomplished so much in her career, from being a board certified educator, having a long history at Teach for America, creating her own consulting firm, and is a dedicated community leader. She is also the founder of Building and Opening Minds, BOOM, which is a nonprofit youth leadership organization where they co-construct movements of affirmation, decolonization, organization, and innovation with visionaries committed to liberation. All of that you can read, and that's impressive. But let me be very clear about why we are honoring Jamie today, because it's not about her accolades or the positions or the news articles or the spotlights she's been in, and she's been in all of those things. But Jamie is being honored today because she has always been and will always be about the liberation of Black people, unveiling the raw realities of our histories and holding up the mirror to herself and others, asking the very question, so what are we going to do about it? Jamie has been about understanding the genius, the culture, and the multiple intelligences of the very students that you teach. Jamie has been unapologetic about her belief in what others are capable of, not because of their resumes, but based on their passions, their strengths, their desires for themselves. And she will create the opportunities for you to learn and grow while walking alongside you. Jamie's power is in her influence, her ability to see the gifts and energies within those around her, her ability to shake things up so that the status quo no longer remains. Jamie has been the mastermind, the genius behind our approaches to admissions at Teach for America, to diversity and equity work at Teach for America, to developing the incoming Corps member support systems that many of you likely benefited from, to the transformation of local community organizations across DFW. And while you may not see her name next to all of those things, we are amplifying her today because her impact has been immense. And it's because of her leadership that systems are radically different and can now honestly say they are rooted in equity for our kids. She has been an inspiration to me in my own leadership journey in DFW. And we hope that today she is an inspiration to you as we kick off this year together. Jay is the epitome of a leader that deeply knows herself, that is truly rooted in this community, that has cultivated relationships for the sake of mutual growth and improvement, and believes that we have the power to not just courageously talk about the change, but to courageously act together to create the change that is necessary for our students to thrive. So without further ado, please join me in honoring and welcoming our 2021 Honorary Alumna, Jamie Jenkins. I'm off mute if you'd like. Yay, Jamie.
Great. First, I want to do a sound check. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Second, I'm trying not to cry and mess up my makeup. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. And third, I'll say I was given 10 minutes and I am not good with time. So y'all hold me accountable. I'm gonna do my best with this 10 minutes. Okay, so first I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be sharing from Adobe instead of PowerPoint because my PowerPoint was acting crazy. So let me check again. Can you see my screen? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to introduce myself quickly and say, my name is Jay. Miss J, if you like me. And I was born and raised in Dallas. So that means, and specifically, I was born and raised by country folk, hood folk from Louisiana. My mama is on this call. I saw her come in. And I'm noting that because I come from a house where people talk at the screen, where if we having a conversation, people talk back. And so if you hear me say anything or you feel something, put it in the chat, give a reaction, let me know, because we're not in person. And so I don't have the benefit of that good old Southern call and response that I love. The third thing that I wanted to note is I am an ancient, intergalactic, divine being. And what that means is I'm old on the inside. Now, in this go round, I'm 36 years old and I was born on March 6th. So I call this my divine year. That's a 9 and a 9. 3636. And so this is a really special year for me. And a lot of good things have happened, including this award, which I was really shocked by. This award, Jessica can attest to this. When I found out that I was being awarded, I reached out and I was like, how? How? Me? Why? And so she gave me beautiful response, some of which she shared in the introduction. And after I shed a few thug tears, I reached back out again and I was like, okay, so who else got this award before me? Because I was still trying to make sense of the situation. So she told me who they were. Michael Sorrell, Rosemary Perlmutter, Michelle Kinder, all of these great folks, right? And then I was like, one of these things is not like the other. Me. So I had to do a couple of things. I'm a Pisces. And if you can't tell, I'm into numerology and spirituality and all of the things. So the first thing I did was light an incense. And I was like, let me get clear about what's going on. I lit the incense. I got some water. I put on my rose-colored Piscean glasses. And I sat. And I was like, let me try to make sense of the situation. And I thought about a couple of things. Number one, this is the year of the Black woman. I have the privilege of being named the Honorary Duck after we have the first Black woman ED in TFA DFW. And we have the first chief program officer who also happens to be a Black woman. And I happen to be the first Black woman to be a duck. And so I was like, okay. Universe is giving me some more sense in my language, my Piscean underwater language. This is also the year we got Kamala and Kismikia and Issa and Rihanna being a billionaire and things, and B got the Tiffany's diamond on, and all of the things are happening, right? But then there's also this other thing that universe responded to me and said, it's the age of Aquarius. So you being not like the others makes sense. I'm the rebel. And the age of Aquarius is the age of the rebel. It's the age of the forward-thinking, progressive visionary. This is when we have our eccentric, innovative, humanitarian people who disrupt the system. That is the time that we are in. And so I was like, okay, I get it. Okay, it makes sense now in my Piscean language for all the Pisces and water people out there who might be into what I'm talking about. And so with that, I decided that I wanted to give some gems from geniuses who were rebellious Black women in my life. These rebellious Black women saw and brought out the best in me as a child. And so when I was asked to speak about, like, how do we approach our children? How do we approach young adults from an asset-based lens? How do we help them to bring out their best? I had to go back and think of who are the people who brought out the best in me? How did I become who I am today? And so the story quickly about three, well, it's more than three women, but three groups. And so I'll start with the first. Mama. My mother, Melanie Faye Jenkins. And the gem that I chose to represent her, because we're talking about wellness, so I brought in my gems, my stones, is carnelian. Carnelian is the stone of courage, strength, bold energy, endurance, leadership, and motivation. And my mother was tough. She was a very, very strict woman. And a lot of times people didn't want to come to our house because she had high expectations. My mother was the one who taught me how to read when I was 3. She was the one who made me write 33 essays when I asked to date, research essays that were ranged in 500 words to 5,000 words. She was the one who made me read every day. She was the one who asked me when I brought home a 92 why it wasn't a 98. My mother had high expectations. And the lesson that I want, the gem that I want to give that I received from her and offer to you as medicine is that struggle is not our story. I know that in Teach for America, there's a lot that we talk about in regards to like low-income communities and all of the obstacles that our children have to face. My mother didn't allow our obstacles and challenges to be excuses for why I couldn't perform. Never. We might not have had a lot. We might not have had all of the privileges that people around us have had. That is just our circumstance. That's what it was. It is what it is. But she always expected excellence. Our obstacles ended up being the opportunities for us to rise. And so I offer to you carnelian, strength, courage, asking you to do the same. Ask for your children, ask for your students, ask for yourself to always go to the next level. There's always more in us. Miss Calico. Now, I told Miss Calico that I was going to get this award. Miss Calico was my 6th grade teacher at Edwards Heights in Pleasant Grove. And she's still in my life. I called her last night and I was like, I'm getting an award from Teach for America, Miss Calico. Can you believe it? Because she knows about the challenges. It was a tough road when I was in TFA, fighting for the things that I was fighting for. And she was like, but it's time. I think sometimes it takes us a minute to recognize like when someone is pushing us to change, that comes from love. And when people realize that that's love and that you're asking us to be better, then they want to recognize it. And so you deserve this award. And I was like, oh, thank you, Miss Calico. She's like, I can't be there, but are they gonna record it? And I was like, they're recording it. So she's like, okay, I need the recording. So Miss Calico, my 6th grade teacher, the medicine that she get, I chose the stone tourmaline, black tourmaline, to represent her. Tourmaline is a stone that detoxes. It's a protection stone. It helps us to ground and it dispels negativity. And the reason why I chose this stone for Miss Calico, the gift that she gave me was when I was in her class. Some people may know this story already. If you know me, you know this story. If you don't, welcome to the story. In her class, I had just come from Richland Elementary in Richardson, transferred back to Pleasant Grove, and I was pretty far ahead on state's tests. So I was straight A's and all of that kind of stuff. But Miss Calico noticed that I had a level of arrogance about myself in relation to my peers who were in Pleasant Grove. And so she created a test that used the slang of the neighborhood, Pleasant Grove. It was the same standardized test I would take, except now it's in slang. And I failed the test. It was the first test I ever failed. And she taught me about the fact that genius is not just connected to whiteness. It's not just the fact that I can pass this test that makes me smart. Everybody has genius. And so the medicine that I want to offer to you from Miss Calico is to let go of the toxic tenets of white supremacy culture, like worship of the written word or one right way or either or thinking that holds one form of knowledge as higher than another. This kid who does good on a test is smarter than that kid who does well in sports. We got to let go of that because we all have genius. And in this new world, this new chapter, this new era, we need to be able to lean into that genius so that we can create a free world. Freedom is going to require lots of ideas. It's going to require a lot of different crazy things that we didn't think was possible and ways of showing up. And so all ways of being, all solutions, all possibilities are valid. And then the last stone I picked is lapis lazuli. And so lapis lazuli is a stone of awareness, inner harmony, purpose, self-confidence, and self-knowledge. When I was 14, I opened up a magazine and there was an ad. So a jingle writing contest. And if you won the jingle writing contest, you got $1,000, a karaoke machine, and a day with Destiny's Child in Houston. And so I looked at that ad, I pointed at it, the postmark deadline was the very next day. And I was like, I'm winning that. I'm a win. And I won. I got to spend time with Destiny's Child when I was 14. This is when they were 18. A full day, like Dave and Buster's, the limo, the concert, the whole spill. And the reason why I wanted to bring this out is twofold. One, I really believe that when we come into the world, we come with everything that we need. We come with our destiny. We come with our genius. We come with it all. But we come into a world that is still plagued with colonization, and colonization tells us that we got to be fixed. And so I'm offering that the child already knows. We got to reject this idea, this schooling methodology that tells us to fix people and we got to lead them. That's not true. That's different from education. Education is a methodology that says we can discover with, we can investigate with. You show me. Tell me who you are. Tell me what your genius is. We're already destined for greatness, and our job as educators is to make sure that we're helping kids and helping young people to rediscover what's already in them. Help them to see it. The other reason why I use this one is because this experience was with other young geniuses. They were 18, I was 14. And I think one of the biggest missed opportunities that we have as educators, a lot of times we think, particularly right now in the era of culturally responsive teaching, we think about, well, Black kids need to see Black leaders and Latino kids need to see Latina leaders, we think in that way, but often we don't think about like young people need to see young people. There's a lot of young geniuses already doing it out here. Why don't we show them that it already exists? You don't have to wait until you're 18, 19, 20 to be amazing. I saw somebody in here at 19 designed like a, what was it, something for the airport, like a, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, they were 19. So the genius is already here. Our job is to help young people remember that genius in a world that's trying to tell them that they ain't got it. So did I do it? Did I meet the 10 minutes? Did I make it? Did I make it? Ah, go. All right. So, but I knew that was fast. Typically, I like to sit down with folks, really have a conversation, really dig in and go, you know, and that's how I engage. So if you want to connect, talk further, this is my jam. Wellness is my jam. Genius of kids is my jam. Community is my jam. And so like, if you really want to like have a dialogue, connect with me. My personal information is jaylashay.com. All of my links are on that site. On social media, my personal stuff is Daughter of Dallas. And then of course, I want everybody following Boom on Instagram. Make sure that you're following us there. I want to see you. But I also just want to give the charge, like y'all are here in a place that I really, really love. And there's a lot of genius people around. And in your first couple of years, it might feel like you have to have it all together. You have to have all the answers. No, you don't. We got educators everywhere. And so if you connect with the mamas, connect with the Miss Calicos, connect with the young artists around here, connect with the community pillars, you have plenty of supports, community wealth available to you. So never feel like you have to have it all together and you got to figure it out by yourself. Find us, bring us in, we're here. Much love and power to y'all. I'm so thankful for the work that you all are doing. I can't imagine what it's like to be a teacher right now in this era. Oh my God. But I'm sending lots of love and power to you. Thank y'all so much. And Teach for America staff, I appreciate y'all for making the bold choice of naming me an honorary duck. I'm still like, what? But thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Power to y'all.
I feel like we need a collective pause to take all this in because this was, wow, Jamie or Jay. Jamie, I've known you for different names. So then I'm like, which one do I say?
You can say all of them. I respond to all of them. My mama calls me Jamie, so I'm gonna listen to Jamie. I go by Jay because I've signed all my emails that way. My brothers and sisters call me Jay. Art folks call me Jay. Then I was in the classroom forever, so then there was Miss J. So all of them are valid. I respond to all of them.
Well, thank you. I think this is every time I leave an interaction with you, I am reminded about just the ways that I need to be called in to lead, both in the people that we're working with and with our students. And so if you haven't been told today, thank you so much for all the work that you're doing and for all the words that you told us today. And I hope that you know that you are very, very loved, appreciated, and valued by Teach for America, DFW, as well as all the people on this call. So thank you very much for being here with us today.